Once again, we're gonna do a review. This time it's a little older figure, not really that old. The Amazing Spider-Man. Originally I pre-ordered this figure, but I decided to hold on. So many problems arises, so but yeah, this is the second batch of Spider-Man, I've been told by Sideshow. We'll just get started with a review, and as usual, we're gonna start off with a box. Awesome box. I like the artwork, really symbolizes Spider-Man, like that pose. You see the web there. It's actually pretty cool because it's kind of embossed, but I wish the figure can actually do that pose right there. It has some battle damage on it, but the figure doesn't, outside of the head sculpt, which you would see later on. This is the back of the box. To anyone who's seen my reviews, you all know that I normally start with a box, and since this is a little bit older, not older, but it's like I said earlier, it came out a few months ago, so you've probably seen all of this. This is mainly for people who's having second doubts on whether to get this figure or not, because like the Wolverine, I myself was hesitant to get this at first, like I said earlier, because of all the issues and whatnot. So hopefully this video would shed some light on you. And honestly, unfortunately, this figure got so much bad rap that it didn't justify those. I mean, at the beginning, of course, it was justifiable, all those issues that it has, broken shoulders and whatnot. But after all those, I decided to jump on, and like I said, I couldn't be any more happier, and I wish you would do the same way. Because this figure is amazing, no pun intended, because it's really poseable and it can do a lot of things. As you can see here, it has the insert lay, it has some text in there ever since we can read it later on. It's a normal shoebox type of box, and it has a clamshell. You can see all the hands and all that stuff in there. You see the extra Peter Parker head, which is pretty cool. There you go. It's a little bit dark, but I'm gonna light it up. I'm gonna put the lights on just so you can see a little bit clearer. There you go. Well, maybe I did not. There you go. And that's pretty much all the accessories. So now I'm gonna jump onto that. It has the normal standard Hot Toys stand, which I wish they included a dynamic stand. This would really take advantage of that stand, since it's the Spider-Man. If there's any figure that you want to do some dynamic poses with, this would be it. And they decided to include a normal Hot Toy stand. But you can buy those dynamic stands for $27 at Sideshow Collectibles. I mean Sideshow Toys. It's a pretty amazing stand. That I used my my Man of Steel stand, because it's huge, that I can't even put the Man of Steel on that stand and have him fly because of the restriction of my cabinet. But with Spider-Man, it's pretty cool because he's a little shorter, which I would show you later on. Now I'm just showing all the different types of accessories, if you want to call them. Mostly hands. There's several types of hands. Crawling hands, the one that I just showed you, I believe that's the web shooting hands. It's made out of rubber, and it has really good texture on it, as you can see there. If the camera focuses, there you go. Yeah, it's a little, I mean, when you touch it, you can feel the awesome texture, and it goes along with his costume, with the rest of his costume. Although it doesn't use the same material as his outfit, it's pretty seamless if you put them all together. And this is the crawling hands, whenever he's trying to crawl through the buildings and all that stuff. This is my what I mostly use, this and the web shooting hands. He also comes, you can see the honeycomb pattern, pretty sweet. It's pretty easy to take on and off. I've had some Hot Toys figure that it's hard to take off their hands, especially Bane. Once you take him off, the peg comes with him. But for some reason, this is, I don't know, maybe it's the hole itself or something, but it's pretty easy to take it back and forth. And this is the close-fisted hands, as it's a compulsory for all Hot Toys figure to have a close-fisted hands and relaxed palm hands. And outside of those, he also has a I believe this is the web swinging hands. It has this figure. It's kind of similar to open palm hands, but it has a hole which you can put the included webs in it, which is you can do some pretty cool poses and it comes in a total of 4 webs. 2 of them are shooting webs. The one that you see right here, it comes inside a foam insert, you know, I guess to not damage them. It's thin, but from what I heard, the issue with the Black Spider-Man was that their the included webs weren't stiff enough, that it always kind of falls short or something like that. But this one has a little bit has a good stiffness on it. You know, it can pretty much stand on its own. And as you can see, the black hole, basically what you're gonna do is insert this. You're gonna take off the hand, insert it inside the peg, and insert the hand right back up, just so you know it looks pretty seamless that he's shooting this web. It's a little bit different on the web slinging hands. Like I said earlier, all you gotta do is insert that in a tiny hole, and it goes right in. But right now I'm just showing you the camera's having a hard time picking this up since this is transparent, but you can see the pretty cool details on the web. There's some black, well, you can't really see it by naked eye, you know, I mean the black stains, I don't know, maybe it's because of the web, it's hangling together. I guess that's an effect. I don't think that's like what I got was dirty or anything, because I got this straight from Sideshow. But you can see here, yeah, there's some pretty cool elaborate detail on the web patterns on this web. But one thing I do wish was, I wish it came with a little bit more accessories. And I know this is Spider-Man, he doesn't use any weapons or whatnot, but judging from the movie itself, I wish they included the backpack and the cell phone that he used, you know, on top of the building when he was talking to Aunt May. That would have gone, you know, perfectly, because we have a Peter Parker head, and you know, when you do a kit bash or anything. But that's just a little, I guess, nitpick that I want to pick on this figure. I mean, this figure has a lot of issues, don't get me wrong, but this particular one that I got, it doesn't have any, especially the big ones, the shoulder issues. Like I said, this is the second run supposedly. At least that's what Sideshow told me, because when I called on the phone, I was worried about that shoulder issues, and one of the reps told me that those batches were gone. I guess they were sent back to Hot Toys, and this is the second batch, and he assured me there's no shoulder issues, and I was more confident to buy it from them, since they have this 30-day return policy. And this is the Peter Parker head, the Andrew Garfield head. Pretty good head. You know, the sculpt isn't spot on. I wouldn't say it's perfect. He has a little battle damage on his face, and like I said, in most videos they're asking why. I don't know, but it doesn't bother me. There are some angles which he looks exactly like Garfield. There are some angles where he looks like Kumar Patel from, you know, you know, the movie. But yeah, it's overall I think it's pretty decent. You know, nice head sculpt. I'm pretty sure it's gonna be better on the second movie if they ever make one. And I've seen some reviews that they said that if your Spider-Man came with this instruction right here, that means you got the first batch. But like I said, mine doesn't have an issue, and it comes with it. It comes along with the instructions. You can see how to put the inside the web and his swinging hands. But like I said, some reviews say that if you open up your Spider-Man and you see that, then that means you got the bad batch. I don't know about that. I think all of them comes with that instruction. So, but I would say if you're planning to buy this figure, buy it from a reputable seller. You know, Sideshow, especially SideshowToy.com or Big Bad Toy Store. You know, those guys are great. If you had any issues, they're gonna replace it right away. Unlike if you buy it secondhand or on eBay, you really don't have any leverage, because if something goes bad or goes wrong, then you know you're out of luck basically. As you can see, I'm just taking a look at the figure itself. It looks pretty cool. You know, I like the way it stands. I like the way that it's not too bulky like the previous Spider-Mans, because I mean, if you've seen the movie, Andrew Garfield is not a big dude. I mean, as far as mass wise, but he's pretty lean. I like that. He's not that tall. And as you can see, I'm just taking a closer look at his costume, which is I think is amazing. I'm not too happy that they replaced it in the second movie. I wish they would have stuck with this one. They explained it pretty thoroughly what the reason is for picking this costume, especially the eye thingy where he took it out of sunglasses. I think that makes perfect sense. But obviously, I haven't seen the second movie yet, nor anyone has. But yeah, I wish he would have stuck with this one, Mark Webb. Just like with Batman when they replaced his iconic costume, the muscle bound into the Dark Knight one, which I do love. But you know, hopefully we see another run of this costume maybe in the third movie or so. Who knows? But there you go, and I'm just showing you the nice material that they used. It's pretty much, I wouldn't say it's the same material as they used on Man of Steel, because this felt actually thicker. It doesn't feel like you're gonna rip it, but at the same time you want to be careful with it, because if you do some dynamic poses you might rip the costume. But I don't think so, unless you're actually just, you know, carelessly posing it left and right. Right now I'm just focusing on the Webslinger. There you go. That's his mechanism on the movie. If you remember, he built this out of like watches and some devices. It's actually attached to the costume, so you can't take it out. Some pretty cool details on it. I just wish that it was a little bit more aligned to his wrist, so it looks like he's web shooting, because it's not perfectly aligned, if you can see. Another, I wouldn't say it's an issue, but you might want to be careful. You see that creases right there whenever you put him on some, you know, you bend the elbows or any. I mean, that's going to happen, but as you can see, it goes back to its original form right after you take it out. So like I said, I think it's a pretty good material. I'm going to take a closer look. Yeah, it's some honeycomb design, which is cool. And the fabric, I'm not sure if it's fabric or rubber or, you know, a combination of both, but it's really good material. I don't think you can, like I said earlier, break it or anything. And it's the same material as they used on his mask, as you can see here if the camera focuses. I like the overall uniformity of the materials used, and also the pattern. You know, even though like I said, on the gloves earlier, it's made out of rubber. On the mask, I believe it's the same material. If you know, it's some rubberish, because some people took out the mask to, you know, for their Peter Parker kit bashes. But I love it. I mean, I love the material that they used. You can see the eyes is pretty cool. I mean, on Medicom, I believe it's a little bit shinier. I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be shiny because it's sunglasses where he took it off, according to the movie. It has some honeycomb pattern on it, maybe just like the ones in Oakley's. But I wish this was a little bit shinier. But overall, I'm pretty glad with how it turned out. I think it's excellent how it turned out to be. The web pattern isn't perfect, as you can see there. It ends, but I believe it's a little better than the previous Spider-Mans from Hot Toys as far as uniformity is concerned. As you can see, that stitches right there. At first it bothered me, because I was like, why is this showing? But they showed on the movie. I'm not sure if this is movie accurate or not, but he was like sawing his mask, so maybe that's the reason why. And you can see the peg is kind of different from our usual peg. You know, if you take out the head, normally it's a ball joint or something, but this one is a little different. It's a black kind of support. It's not, I don't think it's metal or anything, but it's really easy to take it on and off. So that's a welcome addition. I hope Hot Toys would do that more often, especially for figures that you gotta remove the neck. And this is the Andrew Garfield Sculpt. Yo, pretty cool. And the Sculpt, you can take off the head from the neck peg, and you can see the neck peg. It's more squarish, you know, with that peg hole that you gotta put in. So it's not your normal ball joint. But like I said earlier, it's a breeze of taking it on and off. And look at that, it's seamless once you put it in. He has the little costume on his neck, kind of like what Batman is on DX12, but you actually got to put in this little extension to make the neck look like it's not too long. This one, I like the fact that it's all together, so you don't lose that piece. But the head sits perfectly. I think it's a perfect ratio. You know, it's not, his hair is big. I mean, his hair has always been big, but you see the shoulder, you know, it's kind of, he doesn't have a narrow shoulder in it. I think the proportion is really great on this figure. Like on this pose, he looks like Garfield, especially when he's looking down. Now looking from the side, not too much. Like I said, I think the Garfield sculpt could be better on the next, you know, on the next figures, upcoming figures. But overall, I'm I'm pretty satisfied with how it came out. You know, and I saw one of the videos and it's a good thing he pointed out that his hair kind of looks like the Tony Stark hair. I forgot what video was that, but before I bought this figure, I watched tons of videos to make sure that I'm making the right decision. I don't want to throw away almost $200. This is from Hot Toys plus shipping, so it will come out around $220. I mean, you can always use a coupon or whatnot, but $220 for something that's kind of subpar. But I just can't wait for the next Spider-Man. I have an itch for this one, and to me, see this look right here. It kind of looks like Garfield. And they also mentioned that his eyes is kind of glassy, and I can attest to that fact that he kind of looks like he's high. Yeah, and I mean, I don't mind the look. Mostly, I like my figures to have this blank stare, so you can post them in a museum pose if needed be, because those figures that has some intense look on their faces, like the Captain America, you can't really put them on a museum pose. It looks kind of weird. He's angry, but he's just standing up. And there you really see the back end. The hair is pretty cool. Nice sculpt on the hair, and you know, it's pretty consistent on the pattern on the back of his mask. I like that. I like the overall texture. You can see the red symbol of Spider-Man on his back. Like I said, the overall quality of the figure is amazing. You can feel that the costume. You can feel that it's high end kind of, you know, a toy, if you will. And this is the back part. You can see his shoe. Pretty awesome. And I like the movie too. That's one of the reasons why I bought this figure, is because of the movie. Normally that's what I base my my collection from, is something if I did like the movie. And one thing I didn't touch on that earlier review is that the sole of his shoe is pretty cool too. I'm gonna show it here. If you recall from the movie, he took the sole of his shoe to attach to his costume, and that makes sense. That makes perfect sense if you think about it. He's a high school kid, and it gives you a lot of traction if you have this running shoe. See that? Hot Toys Ltd. Apparently they make shoes now, and the sole of the shoe, I mean, it looks pretty good, and the details is just amazing. You can even see, you know, they put a little separation on the sole of the shoe into the costume, so it looks like it's sawn off, and that's how it is in the movies. And now I'm just, you know, trying some poses and whatnot. I tried more. If you visit my website, you can see more pictures in there on the link below. You can see here, this is the shooting hands. As you can see, I told you earlier, it's really easy to put the pegs on and off, and to attach the web. It's not that hard, unlike Bane. But yeah, some pretty cool poses. And also you can see Peter Parker sitting on the Spider-Man figure. Pretty nice. You know, I might make a Peter Parker bash, but it's kind of expensive. I know the kit itself is $90 on eBay, which as of this moment I'm not willing to spend. Who knows, down the line maybe I would. But for now, because it looks good, you know, the Peter Parker head into the Spider-Man costume. I might not display it, but every once in a while I might, you know, put his head on to display it like this. I got a bunch of other head sculpts in my possession too. And one thing that a lot of people complain about is his height. You can see here, Wolverine is kind of hunching a little bit just to have him stand. But you can see Spider-Man, I would say his height is okay. You know, it's a little bit taller than the boss from Metal Gear, which is really tiny. But he's a lot shorter than Wolverine. I didn't put Man of Steel because he's just a giant. But I guess it's just, you know, he's a high school kid. Could he be a little taller? Yes. Could he be a little more beefier? I'm happy with it overall. I mean, I've seen the outtakes of the movie, you know, the disc. I think the disc where they put the special features, and Garfield is a really skinny guy. I mean, he's cut, but he's skinny, so it's just right that he's skinny like this. Is he short like this? And maybe not, but maybe we're looking at the character itself, Spider-Man. I don't know, he's a kid, so me personally, I don't have any complaints about it. But if it bothers you, then, you know, obviously its own personal take. And there you go. And that's pretty much the conclusion of my review. Like I said, I don't think this is going to be a sellout figure. It hasn't sold out yet, and it's already March or April by the time this video comes out. But it's a really good figure. I bought it with doubts, but now those are replaced by happiness because I'm having fun on posting this figure. If you are planning to buy this at Sideshow or any, like I said earlier, any dealer that has return policy, just in case you break the shoulder, then at least you're pretty much covered. Don't get this on eBay. You're gonna regret it if something happens. But pick it up. If worst comes to worst, you can treat it like a Batman figure. You know, the first one, the Toy Fair, Batman Begins. Well, he didn't use that costume that much, but it's still a sought-after figure. Well, they're going to replace the costume, but like I said, this is going to be a hit movie, so, you know, who knows? It might have some value down the line. And thank you for watching. If you want to buy this, click the link below and also visit my website. Please subscribe or like this video or share. You know, thank you so much for watching, and have a wonderful day.